Welcome, dear listeners. Today, we take a step into the sacred realm of personal transformation, exploring the profound impact of a spiritual breakthrough. Imagine for a moment that you are on the cusp of such a discovery, where the veils of ordinary existence are pulled back to reveal the extraordinary. What unfolds when this moment of clarity arrives, and how does it shape our journey forward? In the first chapter of our exploration, we consider the awakening. A spiritual breakthrough often emerges like the dawn, subtle at first, then unmistakably brilliant. It's that pivotal instance when the scales fall from our eyes and we see the world anew. But what triggers such a moment? Is it the culmination of our practices, or perhaps an unexpected insight that strikes like a bolt of lightning? For many of us, this breakthrough can arise during periods of deep meditation or reflection, where the chatter of the mind is hushed and we are left in the silence of our being. In this silence, we can finally hear the whisper of truth that has been calling to us all along. It is here, in the quietude of our hearts, that we might encounter the profound realization of our interconnectedness with all life. This understanding that we are not isolated beings, but rather integral threads in the tapestry of existence, can be both humbling and exhilarating. Yet a question emerges from this newfound awareness. How do we integrate this vision into the fabric of our daily lives? The answer lies not in the grand gestures, but in the smallest of actions. It is how we greet our neighbor, how we cherish each moment, and how we give of ourselves to the world around us. The ripple effect of our breakthrough cannot be overstated. As we embody this deeper understanding, we inadvertently become beacons of light for those around us. Our very presence can lift the spirits of others and, in turn, catalyze their own journey toward awakening. But let's not be mistaken. This path is not without its challenges. The illumination of a spiritual breakthrough can cast long shadows, highlighting the aspects of ourselves and our lives that are out of alignment with our newfound truth. It is as if the universe has gifted us a map, yet the terrain before us is unfamiliar and daunting. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. This brings us to the concept of alignment. Following the breakthrough, a period of realignment is often necessary. We find ourselves reassessing relationships, careers, and even our values. It's a process akin to shedding old skin, uncomfortable yet vital. How do we navigate this phase with grace and courage? The key may lie in authenticity. To live authentically is to act in harmony with our true nature and our deepest values. It is to engage with life not as we think we should, but as we truly are. In doing so, we forge a life that is not only genuine but also resonant with the energy of our breakthrough. Imagine a world where each of us operated from this place of authenticity. How would our interactions change? How would our societies transform? The implications are vast and deeply inspiring. As we move through this realignment, we must also be mindful of the relationships that surround us. It's often said that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. In the wake of a spiritual breakthrough, we might find that certain relationships no longer serve the person we are becoming. This can be a painful realization, but also an opportunity for growth. How do we then cultivate relationships that support and enhance our spiritual journey? It starts with intention. By setting the intention to surround ourselves with people who inspire and challenge us, we open the door to more meaningful connections. As we wrap up the first chapter of our discourse, take a moment to reflect on the awakening of your own spiritual breakthrough. How has it shifted your perspective? And what steps are you taking to realign your life with this deeper understanding? The unseen tides, navigating the currents of inner change. As we wade deeper into the waters of transformation, we arrive at the shores of resilience. The spiritual breakthrough has stirred the depths of our being, and in its wake, we face the currents of change. These are not just ripples on the surface. They are powerful, unseen tides reshaping the very contours of our inner landscape. In the face of such profound internal shift, resilience becomes our lifeline. But what is resilience in the context of spiritual growth? It is the capacity to remain flexible in our thoughts, steadfast in our hearts, and progressive in our actions. Resilience is the quiet strength that allows us to weather the storms of doubt and ride the waves of uncertainty that inevitably arise after our awakening. Consider the nature of water, its ability to flow around obstacles, to carve canyons out of solid rock, to nourish and to sustain. Water does not resist the path it is given. Instead, it uses its innate properties to adapt and overcome. In a similar vein, we too must learn to embody the qualities of water, allowing our experiences to shape us without diminishing our essence. In this process, we must also recognize the importance of self-compassion. As we confront the aspects of ourselves that are in flux, it can be tempting to fall into self-criticism. Yet, it is through kindness to ourselves that we foster the environment necessary for true transformation to take root. Self-compassion is not self-indulgence. It is the recognition of our own humanity, the understanding that growth is a journey with its peaks and valleys. It is giving ourselves the same empathy and encouragement that we would offer to a dear friend. And what of the valleys? Those periods when our progress seems to stall, or we find ourselves slipping back into old patterns. These are not signs of failure, but part of the natural cycle of growth. Just as the moon wanes only to wax once more, our spiritual journey is marked by phases of contraction and expansion. In these moments, it is vital to stay connected to our purpose. The clarity of intention that catalyzed our breakthrough must now act as our guiding star. It is this purpose that will pull us forward when the path seems obscured by the fog of uncertainty. Moreover, the way we frame our experiences can significantly impact our resilience. When we view challenges as opportunities to learn and evolve, we shift from a mindset of victimhood to one of empowerment. This subtle shift in perspective can make all the difference in how we experience our journey. Yet, as we cultivate resilience, we must also be wary of the traps of spiritual bypassing. This is the tendency to use spiritual ideas and practices to sidestep or avoid facing unresolved emotional issues or psychological wounds. True resilience involves facing these aspects of ourselves squarely, not skirting around them. It is in this confrontation with our shadows that we find tremendous opportunity for healing. By bringing light to the darker corners of our psyche, we allow for a more holistic integration of our breakthrough. Healing these fragments of ourselves is essential in creating a foundation strong enough to support our continued growth. In this second phase of our exploration, let's reflect on the nature of resilience as it applies to our personal transformation. How do we maintain flexibility in our thoughts and actions? How do we practice self-compassion in moments of difficulty? And how do we ensure that we are not merely bypassing deeper issues that require our attention? The alchemy of service, transmuting insight into action. In this third contemplation of our shared voyage, we embrace the concept of service as the alchemical crucible in which our spiritual insights are transmuted into tangible action. Service, selfless, heartfelt, and directed outward, is the natural offspring of a spiritual breakthrough. It is the bridge between internal realization and external manifestation. When we speak of service, we refer not only to grand acts of charity or volunteerism, but to the simple, everyday gestures through which we express our interconnectedness. It's in the gentle word of encouragement, the attentive listening to a friend, and the mindful presence in our daily interactions. These are the threads that weave the fabric of a compassionate society. The transformative power of service is twofold. For the giver, it offers a pathway to embody the insights gained from their spiritual awakening, grounding them in the physical realm. For the receiver, it can be a catalyst for their own journey of transformation, a spark that ignites the light of awareness in their own heart. Yet service is not merely about the actions we take, it is also about the space we hold. To hold space is to offer our presence without judgment, to allow others the freedom to express and be themselves wholly. This is one of the most profound gifts we can offer to another soul, and it is in this offering that we truly align with the essence of service. In practical terms, service begins with intention. It is the intention to be of benefit to others, to contribute to the well-being of our community, and to share the abundance of our spirit. This intention sets the stage for action, guiding us to opportunities where our unique talents and abilities can make a difference. Consider the remarkable transformation that occurs within use when we shift our focus from self-centered concerns to the well-being of others. Our problems, often magnified by our inward focus, begin to diminish in the light of the broader perspective that service provides. We realize that in helping others, we are also helping ourselves heal and grow. But let us not forget that true service is devoid of the desire for recognition or reward. It is given freely, with an open heart, and without expectation. This purity of intention ensures that our acts of service are not tainted by ego, but are instead expressions of our deepest truth. As we walk the path of service, we may encounter resistance, both from within ourselves and from the world around us. It takes courage to act against the grain, to serve when it is easier to remain indifferent. However, it is in the face of this resistance that our resolve is tested and our commitment to our spiritual ideals is strengthened. Service also invites us to examine the boundaries we place around our willingness to give. It challenges us to expand our circle of compassion beyond our loved ones, to include strangers, and even those with whom we have difficulties. It asks us to look beyond the superficial divisions that separate us and to recognize the inherent worth of every being. Now, as we reflect upon the alchemy of service, let us ponder the ways in which we can integrate this sacred practice into our lives. How can we transform our insights into acts of kindness, compassion, and support? How can we extend our service to include not only those who are easy to help, but also those who challenge us? The Sovereign Symphony, orchestrating a life in harmony with the infinite. In this culminating movement of our exploration, we arrive at the zenith of personal transformation, the point at which our lives become a harmonious expression of the infinite. It is here, in the Sovereign Symphony, that each note of our existence resonates with the melody of the cosmos, and we find ourselves in a state of profound unity with all that is. This final passage is about integration, the seamless blending of our spiritual breakthroughs with the minutiae of daily life. It is the art of living each day as a testament to our deepest realizations, honoring the sacred in the mundane and recognizing the extraordinary within the ordinary. To orchestrate such a life requires a conscious attunement to the rhythms of the universe. Just as a maestro conducts an orchestra, we too must learn to direct the various elements of our lives to create a cohesive and beautiful whole. Our thoughts, words, and actions become the instruments through which our inner light is broadcast into the world. The freedom that arises from living in harmony with the infinite is not a static achievement, but a living, breathing state of being. It is a freedom that is felt deep within and seen in the joy of our interactions, the peace of our solitude, and the love that we share with the world. As we embrace this sovereign symphony, we also acknowledge the role of gratitude. Gratitude for the journey, for the lessons learned, for the growth attained, and for the continuous unfolding of our understanding. It is with a grateful heart that we can truly appreciate the beauty of the symphony we are composing with our lives. In this final reflection, let us consider the ways in which we can cultivate this harmonious existence. How can we ensure that our daily actions are in tune with our spiritual insights? How do we maintain the delicate balance between being and doing, between inner peace and outward expression? With these thoughts, we conclude our shared expedition into the heart of transformation. May the insights gained serve as guiding stars on your path, and may your life's symphony be a source of inspiration and light to all who hear its melody. As we part ways, remember that the journey is never truly complete. Each day presents a fresh score upon which to write the notes of your experience. Go forth with courage, with love, and with the harmonious wisdom of the sovereign symphony echoing in your soul.